Hey guys, it is Q Nicole, and I am so excited to join you this evening so we can talk hemp. I hope everybody's having a phenomenal week, getting excited for the Memorial Day holiday weekend. I know we've had a crazy eventful week. Shout out to all of the events that are taking place on the East Coast. And it's been a week of travel, but yet I love really taking the opportunity to connect, to, give opportunity to share space and talk about how phenomenal this plan is and why it deserves to be a part of like the mainstream conversation as it relates to viable businesses and viable industries that people are choosing to grow with, especially in the United States, one of the largest markets. And so I'm really excited to join you guys tonight. And I have phenomenal information to share. So if you are in a place where you could take notes, I definitely recommend that because we're really going to drop some valuable information about how innovation using these plant derived ingredients, especially hemp, how it helps amplify businesses bottom line and brands growth. And we want to make sure that we talk about all of the benefits that you may not even know about that exist with the cannabis plant, North Carolina being one of the states that's still a little behind as it relates to the entire industry. There are certainly other states that have seen more growth with recreational and medicinal laws already passed and free distribution for that. But the beautiful thing about what North Carolina does have is it has a beautiful hemp market, and our hemp market includes, what we are able to offer that's legal within our state. And so, WH Farms Co. We're going to talk a bit more about what we do, why we do it, why I started this company, and how we want to make sure that we can help demonstrate through information and the sampling of our amazing white label formulations why we would love to be your trusted partner as you grow and expand in this industry. So I'm excited to get started with tonight's live. Very, very excited to talk to all of you guys. So, a bit about WH Farms Co. We are a vertically integrated botanical manufacturing company. We actually are a farm and we grow on Tuscaroran and African American legacy farmland industrial hemp. Why is that important? Well, a bit about me. My name is Q Nicole. I am the CEO and founder of WH Farms Co. And I joined this industry because of my own personal journey as I started to really grow and progress in my career with anxiety. I'm pretty sure others have had anxiety, right? Like we know that there's songs and there's social media dances about anxiety. But when I had anxiety, when I first met it, it was before, mental health was like something that was discussed openly. And it was a lot of stigma around not really understanding how to, manage your nervous system and manage your responses and how it would affect your body. And so I found myself going through something that a lot of women of color go through, fibroids. And so something that really can challenge the way that we are able to function. And so I really was looking for an opportunity to seek healing and seek a way to kind of solve some of these problems that I was having in a more natural way. What triggered this, discovery of plant medicine and the benefits of plant medicine, which led to my discovery of hemp, was the reality of losing a parent. I found myself going through crazy grief, and as a result of that, wanted to find something that will help just really elevate my way of functioning and also just help me kind of cope with the grief. And with that, there was a consideration for a prescription option, but because I was in Washington D.C., I found that the medicinal cannabis market was a better opportunity for me to grow and to heal. When I first started using cannabis after my father passed away, I was absolutely mind blown at how it helped to eradicate brain fog. And I was at the time overseeing my own distressed residential flips in the Washington D.C. metropolitan area. So I was undergoing, occupational stress. I had grief on top of that. But when I would put this tincture in my coffee or if I would consume a pre-roll, it gave me an opportunity to really relax. It gave me an opportunity to feel my nervous system stabilize. And so when I started to feel the benefits of the plant, I decided like, wow, I need to share this with other people. I need to make sure that other people are aware that this plant provides this phenomenal therapeutic benefit, because for so many years I was looking for something that I could integrate, that I could really have an opportunity to connect with. But what I was finding was more chemical induced. Opioid addiction had just really started to elevate in awareness, and I was concerned about some of those addictions that could take place. And then I also was very concerned about even, starting and beginning the practice of taking something on a consistent basis that wasn't natural. I just wanted to find a natural solution. And so I was absolutely enamored with how the medicinal benefits of the cannabis plant are oftentimes not discussed enough, right? Like it's just phenomenal, some of the plant medicine opportunities or options that are out there, that because they're not FDA approved, we find ourselves shunning away from. But I love how in today's society, a lot of your customers are looking for natural options. And so that's what WH Farms loves to offer. But don't just take my word for it, right? What I have shared before, especially for my retailers or my beauty and wellness brands and businesses that are in retail locations, or you may have D2C relationships with your customers, they are already buying hemp. They're already buying the form of cannabis that is non psychoactive, the form of cannabis that's oftentimes in a lot of like beauty and wellness products, the form of cannabis that has wellness benefits, because this is a form of cannabis that's most palatable for people. It gives you an opportunity to enjoy the therapeutic benefits of the plant, any of the fragrance without any of the stigma, because guys, there is stigma. And it gives your customers an opportunity to really engage in a new relationship with the plant. And that's the type of product that WH Farms Co. loves to manufacture for their white label clients, for its white label clients. And so we're really excited about tonight talking about the benefits of hemp, what it is, and what qualities exist in it, and what type of products do certain things. What is this industry looking like, in terms of market projections and forecasts, which products are performing well, because we want you to know that the cannabis industry is available to you. When I started this business a few years ago, one of my biggest drivers, aside from the fact that I wanted to make sure that we really elevated the heritage of what could happen and what has happened in Eastern North Carolina. We are proud to grow our hemp on such rich legacy and heritage of hemp cultivation. The Tuscaroraans were cultivating hemp before English settlement. And so we love the fact that we bring that heritage, our heritage, into the products and the raw ingredients that come from our farm. So we love the premium hemp extract that we place into our luxury wellness goods that span from gummies to topical products, some that are therapeutic, some that are moisturizing, all that are plant based and amazing, and giving you and your customers an opportunity to really enjoy a new relationship with the plant. So let's dive right into it. Most, I want to talk about the the benefits first and foremost of the actual hemp plant. So as I shared, hemp is actually a form of cannabis. So the scientific name for cannabis is cannabis sativa, and it has or two, you know, um, essentially variations. And so you have a marijuana variation of cannabis sativa or a hemp variation. And so marijuana in the United States is described as any dry material of this derivative of the cannabis plant that has more than 0.3% THC. And what that essentially means is there's a certain cannabinoid that the federal government determined whether or not a plant was marijuana or not, right? But anything that is below 0.3% THC of that same specific cannabinoid is considered hemp. And so that's what we cultivate within WH Farms Co. That's what's legal and became legal through the Farm Bill. Although, and we'll talk about this in a bit, but there's been some varying approaches to hemp laws around the country, which we'll kind of briefly go over. But what we've always stressed as a company, and the reason, if you go back, we've been very vocal. Just to give you a bit of background about our business, we've work with hundreds of small businesses and brands around the country and even some internationally who have launched or expanded their product line. We actually have manufactured and shipped over 200,000 units throughout the United States, just helping people launch or expand their product line and really offer their customers products that their customers are already looking for. But we offer traceable and trustworthy solutions. And so we're really excited about how we've been able to really help elevate an awareness about the benefits of entering into the cannabis industry from this angle or from this perspective. When I first launched this company, there was an emergence of minorities, especially, that were joining the cannabis industry through social equity programs, through, pooling together capital, because guys, they had raised the bar so high that it was almost impossible to think about legitimizing and setting up a legal cannabis business using the means of a dispensary or even a cultivation operation such as what we have. But one of the things that I've said from the beginning is that when you want to launch and grow in the cannabis space, you should not go after dispensaries. You should not go after cultivation operations, because being a plant touching company comes with so much just headache and scrutiny. I mean, we've been kicked out of 6 banks. We have had so many lockups with our merchant processing. We have had people, the actual federal and state government come and test our flower, and if it's above the 0.3%, they burnt it on the spot. Acres of cannabis just gone, like on the spot. And so these are like some of the setbacks that you have when you're plant touching and more exposed to something that has not been regulated federally. But because we as a company follow the Farm Bill for our customers, you don't have to be exposed to any of those challenges, because all of our products are non-psychoactive, giving you an opportunity to participate not only in the cannabis industry, but in the e-commerce boom. And so giving you a chance to really grow your business and ship your products nationally all across the US, giving and being able to participate as a legal participant in the cannabis industry in this way. So we're really excited about a lot of the businesses and a lot of their customers' journeys and successes. And I think about some of the testimonials of some of our aging community who wouldn't otherwise think about a psychoactive option or a smokable option, but they love ointments and creams, and they enjoy the topicals that give them, mobility or reduce their inflammation. For me, taking the tincture was really helpful in managing anxiety, and I love our products, the pain balm, as well as our moisturizers. We have oils, all of these different topical products that deliver the cannabinoids through your skin and giving you an opportunity to feel the relaxation, the therapeutic benefits, the reset that's needed to optimize performance. And so really excited to share that. Let's talk about e-commerce. So one of the biggest economic forecasts that I thought was really worth noting, because I know we're here tonight to talk about beauty and wellness, but I want to first set the stage for the framework of the environment that you actually have the opportunity to market your cannabis business in once you consider establishing a brand, or when you establish your brand and you expand it with non-psychoactive options. And so they are actually predicting that in 2026, the e-commerce platform will multiply, it will increase by 300%, meaning that more businesses will go online to sell products, and more customers will be purchasing products from the internet, from the telephone, from the laptop, from their tablets, so that they're able to really participate in a retail experience. And so I think that's so amazing, because when we talk about in a bit some of the growth in the hemp in the cannabis business, the industry in the cannabis industry, especially in the United States, one of the largest markets worldwide, then we can also talk about what that means for you as you decide to think about making sure that your brand is positioned to benefit from this growth in consumer behavior. And so what is hemp? We started talking about how it's less than 0.3% THC, the cannabinoid, the specific variation of THC that the federal government has decided to manage. And so We as a farm are excited to cultivate this phenomenal crop on our legacy farmland, and we take it through our supply chain through manufacturing, and we formulate these products that really are solving problems that we've heard from focus groups and community members. And we've done the research on what works in this industry so that we can deliver premium goods to businesses that are seeking to expand in this space. And the reason why we love really elevating the conversation around the hemp plant is because the hemp plant for so many years has always maintained a reputation for its industrial use. It has over hundreds of uses that are relevant to a growing economy, but it's been within recent years that we've been elevating the conversation about the cannabinoid quality, the medicinal quality. We've resurrected this conversation about the ancient healing benefits that are locked in the hemp plant. I spent a few weeks in Asia last year, and it was so amazing to go to museums that really talked about herbal healing and to see all of the instances referenced that the hemp plant was driving the conversation thousands of years ago. And so when people say things like, well, what does the FDA say? Or is this, do you have financial data? Or, all of the questions that they may ask in order to have a validation or confidence in believing that the plant or the products have therapeutic benefits. I always say, like, the United States is younger than this plant, and there should be some value placed on the reputation over thousands of years that it has to have the medicinal benefits that it offers. And so that's what we do, from a formulation and manufacturing perspective. We really do marry the ancient healing properties of the hemp plant and our proprietary blend to, just really modern science as it relates to formulation and manufacturing to deliver a great product. And so why is hemp so amazing? Let's talk about these cannabinoids. The cannabinoids are chemical qualities in the cannabis plant that actually deliver therapeutic or euphoric benefits. You have a variety of botanical qualities that deliver these benefits, guys. I got everything else and I didn't get anything to drink. We're going to quickly reset. Okay, so you have a lot of like qualities in the cannabis plant that delivers these chemical benefits, these botanical benefits, like terpenes and cannabinoids. And a lot of times it's only referenced in medical marijuana conversations because that's really what's being highlighted along with the THC, really the use of the entourage effect and all of the cannabinoids that are affected. But in this instance, we're going to talk about it in the context of hemp because hemp also has this entourage effect, these rich cannabinoids, not just CBD, but CBN and CBG and other forms of THC. And although we are not a psychoactive company, I have to shout out, we are a Charlotte company. We love the Charlotte system here. We have a community of amazing cannabis businesses in North Carolina. And we actually, I just launched an organization and I co-chair it with phenomenal industry pioneer in the marketing space, Kelly Riddle. And we actually, it's called NC3, the North Carolina Cannabis Chamber. And I love one of the local psychoactive companies, Crowntown Cannabis. They do such a phenomenal job with psychoactive flower. But there's also all of these other cannabinoid chemical qualities that are available in the hemp plant that have therapeutic benefits. And so what have we found is that we are able to really solve the problem that consumers have, that they're concerned about, what's inside of their products. How many of us are buying products for our home? We think about what goes into our shelves. And so we have to think about that our customers are also looking for those options. We also are excited that with these types of opportunities, exploring products with the hemp plant, you're exploring products that reach a variety of needs. There are gummies that have qualities that rival perhaps starting kids with Ritalin. We've actually seen customers and we've seen businesses, especially some of our medical clients who are looking to offer their client base or their patient base alternatives, so that instead of placing a child on a prescription starting at the age of 7 and it goes through perhaps when they're done with college, 21, instead of putting them on that path, giving them other plant-based alternatives is a solution. And so that's part of the reasons why we are always really excited about growing opportunities in this space and sharing with you why your clients are already looking for it or already purchasing it, why it's so important for you to consider expanding it. So let's talk beauty and wellness. We all know that over the last 10 years, the beauty industry has exploded. We've seen brands pop up, we've seen diversity promoted, we've seen we've seen growth and expansion in the space. But every year, the last couple of years, I've gone to a few beauty and wellness conferences and really started speaking to industry professionals that are in that space. And one of the things that I found out is that they're looking for innovation. They're looking for innovation. They're looking for an opportunity to lead with something different. Their customers are looking for an opportunity to experience something different. And so that's the reason why I believe, and I'm a strong proponent, that hemp belongs in the beauty and wellness space. And that as a business owner, as a retailer, as a company that's seeking to serve your customers with something that's innovative, with something that is, multi use, that provides therapeutic benefit, that delivers multiple functional options, that you're giving them an opportunity to really feel additional value with their purchases, especially as we are heading into a recession, right? I think that that's very important to consider. One of the things that I love about, being a part of this market, we have to know how, with everything that happens in life, we have to know how to find the silver lining, right? Like, WH Farms Co. is very much so for diversity and inclusion, and really like promoting and elevating the fact that we as a minority owned farm are in an operation are super excited about what we're able to do for our disadvantaged farmers that in the communities that we serve, and how we're able to continue to grow and elevate the businesses that we serve. But we also understand that some of the laws, especially tariffs and some of the concerns that have come out over the last 30 days, can be startling as a business owner. We can empathize with what you're feeling, right? And so that's the reason why we are excited to be a domestic manufacturer. We're so excited to be your live option, and your local option, if you will, so that you don't have to worry about tariffs and expenses for importing outside of the United States. And this is one of the premium benefits that we love delivering, because we know that being able to have traceable products is premium in the cannabis space, because having the confidence with your COAs and with the delivery of your marketing and your branding messaging, that and you have relationship with the brands that you promote on your e-commerce page, the brands that you use on the back end of your product development and private label or white label, that we want to make sure that you have an opportunity to be excited about discussing that traceability, and really just sharing with your customers that you can deliver a confidence to them that they can trust, or even just feeling that confidence as a business owner. We're really excited about that. And so let's talk about what's happening in the cannabis industry. The cannabis industry is growing at a phenomenal rate in the United States, despite the DEA not rescheduling it, despite us still not having access, which again, brands don't have this problem, especially hemp derived brands. Plant touching companies have real significant challenges with banking systems. And so that's the reason why WH Farms Co. has always been a proponent of promoting white labeling. And we're really excited about partnering with businesses that way, because we see that the industry will continue to grow at a rapid pace, and we want you to be a part of it. My background is in real estate investing, and so I love sharing with people the strategy of seeing an emerging market and then planting your flag at the right time, or expanding your product line to consider the growth in this industry at the right time. So we're already at about 40 billion just in the United States in terms of market demand and what consumers are doing in the marketplace. And guys, this is across a variety of product segments. So this includes gummies, it includes topicals, it includes flour. And so we really are excited about seeing how cannabis is becoming more regularly used and consumed amongst individuals throughout the country. But what's about to happen is crazy. What's about to happen is absolutely mind-blowing because it's a true indicator of the growth that's happening in this industry, and you want to be a part of it. By the end of 2025, it is forecasted that with the current spending trend, the cannabis industry in the United States is expected to be or exceed $140 billion. $140 billion. That's huge. How many of you want just a percent of that, right? Like something really small, a fraction of a percent of that, like something crazy small, which would still be crazy mind blowing. That's the reason why it's so important to be in the right place at the right time. And that's why we are really passionate about sharing the benefits of this industry with business owners like you who are excited, entrepreneurs like you who are excited to grow and expand as this industry explodes, right? So, one of the other statistics and considerations that I wanted to make sure that I went over was the fact that we are noticing that there are a lot of opportunities of growth in the actual topical sector. Pain and moisturizer, anti-inflammatory qualities are premium keywords and searches that consumers are looking for when they are purchasing products. Again, going back to e-commerce, really, wanting to make sure that you capture the growth in the e-commerce industry, because let's pair that over 140 billion, 300% growth in the next year. The two of these together is absolutely insane. Like, that's amazing. And so knowing that topicals can be transported, can be shipped through USPS or US or UPS shipping services, and that you would be in a compliant position to have a legal cannabis company, I think is super, super, super valuable. And thinking about the strategy when you go to market, because you have to have a go to market strategy. You have to have a way that you are going to set up your brand in the marketplace so that it can grow. And so those are the types of things that we are really excited to talk about tonight and further dive into with our academy. We talk about the academy a bit on the page, and so I definitely want to make sure that we talk about it tonight. I started the CBDpreneur Academy after having hundreds of business customers, and they would have questions about how to ship and what to use and how to do all of these various things, especially with extract, but even with white label and branding and all of these types of questions about how to grow their business and get funding, which was a really big question, scaling their business into different distribution models and all of these various questions about growth and scaling. And so I wanted to work with experts to create an educational academy that helped to really proactively serve as a business bestie for new businesses that are launching in the industry. And so I work with a phenomenal marketing and just an executive boss, super talented woman by the name of Ariel, who was able to help design a curriculum. She brought in Ivy League training and had exposure with helping lots of businesses really grow and scale. So she knew the skeletal system of growing a business and scaling a business, especially online. And so we were able to pair that with some agricultural insight, some historical data about the ancient healing qualities of hemp, and really talk about the cannabis industry and the growth and how to market, how to brand, how to advertise, brand voice messaging, all of the things, because it's a world. It's not just a product, right? You have to engage understanding how to communicate about this product so that you are able to grow and expand your business. And we really develop the academy to work alongside you developing your business to give you the insights that you needed. And so I'm excited that within the academy, we go over a lot of these different statistics and strategies and ways that you can really capture market and really demonstrate how you can our vision is to see our customers spread the therapeutic benefits of the cannabis plant, of hemp. And so we do that through partnering with businesses just like you, entrepreneurs like you, who seek to offer innovative quality customers. And through the academy, we also educate you on how to integrate it into your system. And so we're really excited about just, sharing all of how the data. I have to go to my notes, guys, because I don't want to miss anything. I'm always intrigued by how much information you have to know in this industry. I gotta share, destigmatizing cannabis has been the most beautiful yet the most educational journey of my life, especially in the South. And I don't want to miss anything because there's so much that I want to make sure that you guys get about how this industry is growing, especially as a beauty and wellness brand or entrepreneur, or an entrepreneur with a retail brand or an e-commerce brand who's just looking to offer innovation. And so the last thing that I want to talk about is the popularity amongst product categories, because we know that topicals are amazing. We know that cannabis is booming. We know that e-commerce is on fire. But let's talk about what consumers are looking for when they go to cannabis product. Between of the actual rankings, we know obviously flower, especially in those recreational markets, are killing. So we know that flower is just killing the game. We're just going to just go ahead and just put that out there. But we also know that there are limitations with flower products, especially between the interstate commerce and the state by state regulation. So we talk a lot about really elevating yourself above what can limit your distribution opportunities, especially if you're interested in e-commerce platform channels. Although there's definitely ways to to ship flour online, but what is really growing at a fast pace and was projected to grow faster than pre-rolls are gummies. Gummies are taking off. In 2026, the gummy industry is expected to be 10 to 12 billion dollars in the United States. 12 billion. That means that people are going to be buying 12 billion dollars worth of gummies. That means you need some gummies. That means that your business should have gummies available to offer your customers. And these types of product offerings will just expose you to opportunities to grow as this industry grows. So I want to just thank everybody for joining me tonight. I didn't want to create a long live. I just wanted to drop some nuggets about the plant benefits of hemp, the difference between hemp and marijuana, talk about the size of the cannabis market, talk about the size of the quality of the plant, the chemical components, and why it's so amazing. And guys, I try to simplify things because if I want to make sure that we're all able to hear it so that we can really understand it. I think that's a big part of destigmatizing. For some of you, it may have been oversimplified, which is perfectly fine. But my audience and the community that we serve, I want to make sure that we continue to elevate the information so that we can be more of widespread users. We want to deal with some of these common chronic wellness challenges that are so pervasive in the Southeast and throughout the United States. And so we definitely are excited that you decided to join us so that you could hear about the growth that's happening with e-commerce, the types of products that people are purchasing, bit about what we do as a company, and certainly the products and the services that we offer. So I encourage you to check out our whfarms.co Academy page. You can go directly to our website, learn about our academy, learn about our white labeling services, learn about our products. And if you are interested in any products, you go to the bottom of the page and seek to shop with us. You are able to see or either use the instructions on the white label page, and you're going to be able to see a great discount if you're interested in joining our white label service program. So if you have any questions, please feel free, just reach out on our website. So excited that you were able to join me this evening. I hope you guys have a great evening.